Years ago, I got my blood work back. Total testosterone 25.4, solidly normal. On paper, I was fine. But I had a decision to make. I could accept the number the way most people do, normal is normal, move on. Or I could ask a harder question. What if the number that says I'm fine is the wrong number? That question sent me deep into 3 decades of endocrinology research. And what I found changed how I read every blood test for the rest of my life. Today, I'm going to give it to you because if you're over 40, you're doing everything right, and your doctor keeps telling you your testosterone is normal, while you feel anything but, and you are about to understand why. My name is Rob Lagana, 33 years of coaching, 19 competitive bodybuilding shows, legally blind, clinically low testosterone, something I have lived with and managed my entire life since I was a teenager and my whole adult life, right? I did not learn this from a classroom. I learned it because my own biology forced me to. This is not medical advice. This is education. Always work with your physician. Here is the rule almost everyone follows. You get your testosterone tested. You get one number back. Total testosterone. If it falls in the normal range, you're told you're fine. If it doesn't, something's wrong. One number, one verdict. That rule is the problem. Because total testosterone measures every molecule of testosterone in your blood, bound and unbound, usable and useless, all lumped into one number. And most of what it counts, your body cannot even use. And let me show you why. The testosterone in your blood exists in 3 forms. The first form is bound tightly to a protein called sex hormone binding globulin, SHBG. Roughly half to 2/3 of your total testosterone is locked by SHBG. And when it is bound to SHBG, it is biologically inactive. It cannot enter a cell. It cannot build muscle. It cannot aid recovery. It is locked away. The second form is loosely bound to a protein called albumin. This testosterone can break free relatively easily, so it is considered usable, available. The third form is completely free, unbound. Okay. This is the testosterone that can enter a cell, bind to the androgen receptor, and actually do its job. But here is the striking part, that free, fully usable testosterone is only about 1 to 3% of your total. 1 to 3%. So when your doctor reads your total testosterone and says it looks normal, they're reading a number that is mostly made up of testosterone your body cannot use, pretty much. Here's where it gets important. Imagine 2 men, same age, same total testosterone on paper, identical numbers. One of them feels strong, recovers well, holds muscle. The other feels flat, recovers slowly, can't break a plateau. Same total testosterone, completely different lives. How? SHBG. The first man has lower SHBG, so more of his testosterone is free and usable. The second man has higher SHBG, so more of his testosterone is actually locked away, leaving less free testosterone to actually do the work. This is why total testosterone alone is close to meaningless without knowing your SHBG. The European Male Aging Study confirmed exactly this. Men with normal total testosterone but low free testosterone had more symptoms, physical and sexual, than men whose free testosterone was actually in range. The total number did not predict how they felt. The free number did. Now, here is why this matters so much, specifically after 40. As you age, SHBG actually rises. And as SHBG rises, it binds up more of your testosterone, leaving less of it free. In the Massachusetts Male Aging Study, researchers tracked this over time. Free testosterone declined about 1.2% per year. SHBG rose about 1.2% per year. Think about what that means. Your free testosterone, the testosterone that actually matters, declines roughly twice as fast as your total testosterone. So you can be 45, 50, 55, get your blood work back and see a total testosterone that looks completely normal and still be functionally deficient in the only testosterone that does anything. Your doctor sees a normal number, right? You feel every symptom of low testosterone. And both of you are right, because you are looking at two different numbers. Now, here is something almost nobody connects. SHBG is not just a testosterone story. It is a metabolic story. SHBG is made in your liver, and its production is directly affected by your metabolic health. When SHBG is high, it is often driven by aging, by undereating, by thyroid issues, or by your liver. When SHBG is low, it is frequently a signal of insulin resistance or visceral fat, of metabolic dysfunction. In fact, research has shown that low SHBG, low, is one of the strongest predicators of future type 2 diabetes. In some studies, a stronger predictor than testosterone itself. So your SHBG number is doing two jobs at once. It tells you how much of your testosterone, right, is actually usable, and it tells you something about your metabolic health, right? Your insulin sensitivity, your visceral fat, your long-term disease risk. One number. Two critical signals. And most people never had it tested. So let me come back to where I started. That blood work of mine, total testosterone 25.4, normal. Here's what I didn't tell you yet. My SHBG came back at 56. It's on the higher end. And that one number was the answer to that question I asked at the very, very beginning. Because my SHBG was elevated, a meaningful portion of that normal looking total was bound up. It was locked away. was unavailable. The total said I was fine. The SHBG told the real story. If I had accepted that first number the way most people do, I would have walked away, believing everything was fine and never understood what was actually happening underneath. That is the entire point. The total looked normal. The SHBG explained the truth. One number gave me a verdict. The full picture gave me an answer. So what do you do with this, right? If you're over 40 and you're going to get your hormones tested, do not accept a single total testosterone number. Right? Ask for the full picture. Total testosterone, free testosterone, ideally measured directly or calculated properly from total testosterone, but getting it measured directly is better, right? And albumin, right? And the SHBG itself, those three numbers together tell a story that total testosterone alone can never tell. One more thing. Timing matters. Testosterone should be measured in the morning, fasted, because levels are highest early and decline throughout the day. And a single reading is never enough. A proper diagnosis requires at least 2 morning measurements alongside the actual symptoms. If you have been told your testosterone is fine, but you feel every symptom of it being low, right, this is the conversation to bring to your physician. You may not need more training, right? You may not need, to push harder. You may simply need the right number measured. The fitness industry obsesses over training harder. The medical system often reads a single number and moves on. And the person in the middle, the high performer, over 40, who's doing everything right and still stuck, falls through the gap. Your biology is not a single number. It is a system. And when you measure the right parts of that system, free testosterone, SHBG, the full picture, you finally get answers that total testosterone alone can never give you. Training creates the signal, recovery creates the change, and the right data creates the strategy. If this opened your eyes, comment protocol or head to the link in the description. The protocol briefing walks you through how we use this kind of clinical detail to build a recovery-first foundation for adults over 40. 5 minutes, no obligation. I'll see you next time.